Okay.
Okay.
You always laugh at the beginning of the podcast, like.
But not this time, dead serious. Like I'm not playing around.
Okay.
Like this isn't
This is very
this
serious.
isn't for humor.
We gotta answer these questions with the utmost certainty.
Yeah, so today we're doing the much dreaded Q&A.
Yes.
A lot of resentments built up getting to this point.
First question. You know what? While I'm looking for these questions,
Maybe some commentary.
maybe.
Yeah. Okay,
How was your day?
I just woke up. So non-existent.
So not.
But yeah, if you don't know, this is the Basic Podcast.
Oh,
if you're
shoot, we
tuning
didn't
in
even-
for a first time,
We didn't even start the way we should have.
and
Thank you. Thank you.
for tuning in.
Thank you. Because no one does. Ever anymore.
Nobody ever thinks anymore. They just go, no problem. Or no biggie.
What are we doing? Welcome to the Basic Podcast. That's Matt.
That's Ela.
And we have some Q&A stuff. Whose questions should we start with? Because I have two that are like, questions.
Let's
And
start
then-
with the questions, and we'll build up to the better ones.
They're not like questions. They're like questions that I'd want to wait till we're like laughing
Oh,
about
okay.
stuff to talk
Plus, I
about.
remember a few questions from Phil and some other people.
Okay, well, let's do one of those.
Okay, so the first question, I guess we're gonna go over, was submitted by Phil. It's what do we think about Black History Month?
Oh, yeah. Well, what do you think about Black History Month?
Me, I mean, I don't have too much of an opinion on it. Like, I mean, like Morgan Freeman, if you've ever looked up his stuff on it, like he's one of the people who's like, blacks don't really need a Black History Month. There's no White History Month, etc.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when like a group of people have suffered throughout history, they usually they end up getting a month to memorize the people who've came forward and like progressed to make things equal, So I think that's really what the month's about. It's just about the people who step forward to fight for the equality.
Yeah. I feel like we started this podcast really wrong, Matt. Something's off.
I don't think it's off.
Really?
Yeah.
You think that's because we're in your office? This is different now?
No. Are you having a hard time with the question?
I think so, yeah. I don't know what to say about Black History Month. I'm not black and I'm not a historian, so what do I have to say about it?
You said you would answer any question, Eli.
I didn't say I'd answer it good. It's been a day. Why don't we wait to answer some questions
Okay.
until we've kind of gotten our flow started?
Okay. So so how was your day so far?
Oh, it was weird. I mean, it was all right. I mean, I wake up and, my parents have gone for the weekend because my dad decided to take my mom out on like a weekend getaway thing.
Yeah, I
So
heard about that.
They're off somewhere having fun. My friend actually just texted me and said that he saw them in the movie theater. And I was like, "Oh, so they're in Jackson.
Yeah.
Great." And so I thought it was really sweet that he wanted to do that for her
Yeah.
because they never really go anywhere. But so I wake up and I've got Andrew and Zach are still asleep, but I wake up and I've got an email from Andrew, my little brother, that's got a link to a YouTube video that says "Spooky Scary Bandicoots," and I'm like, why is he awake? It's like 7:46.
Does he normally not get up till later?
No,
Okay,
but on the weekends he's up,
yeah.
no problem. I don't know why. And so we ended up having to go to Walmart, and Zach was there doing the oil change for like. Oh, I called you on the way to Walmart. I was
Yeah.
like trying to figure out if you were awake, because Zach was just gonna drop me off and then go straight to Corinth.
Yeah.
And so we went to Walmart and we're sitting around waiting for this oil change. We decided we want to get some food because, it's 12, and we're standing there, and these two girls approach us and ask us about playing volleyball on Friday, and then they start talking to us.
Oh, it's two girls?
Yeah,
Okay.
and like they've got name tags, but I can't see them because they've got these coats or whatever. Like
Yeah.
because it's a rainy day, they're trying to stay out of the.
Were they younger?
Yeah, they're like they're definitely less than 30. They're like in their early
Okay.
20s, and they were just talking to us at first, and they're like, "You guys heard about like the Book of Mormon and stuff?" Like,
Oh man.
because we're just there,
Yeah.
and like they were asking about volleyball at their church if anybody wanted to come, play because it's more fun with more people.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, I don't play volleyball. I could ask some of my friends." And then they ended up giving us like copies of the actual Book of Mormon.
I actually don't know the Book of Mormon very well.
I don't know much about it. I said that I had heard of it, but they sat there and there are these illustrations in it.
Like I
and
know what it's based off. I know how it.
I didn't know anything about it.
I know how it got started.
And she sat there and just told us about Joseph Smith. They sat there and told us about like what it's about and stuff,
Yeah.
and how it goes along with like the actual Bible teachings and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I'll look into it. Ask people at my church about it, what they think.
And you're an instant devotee.
To the Book of Mormon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why?
No.
No, it didn't convert you.
I mean, it's cool, I guess, but I don't know that I'm into it yet.
Yeah.
Like, if it's something that they're like, oh yeah, that's legit, I might actually read this and go through it and look at it, then I'd be like, whatever. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't trust them completely,
Yeah.
but like, they told me a little bit about where they're from. They're actually from Utah, and they're visiting a church in Corinth.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, that's cool. And it turns out they could probably be coming out to visit Rose Creek because they sounded really
Oh really?
actually excited to hear about what we have going
Like
on.
as an adult living on my own, the only people who've actually ever came to my door was like some religious affiliated people.
Really?
Yeah, like you think about like, oh, Girl Scouts or so and so will show up, but no, it's just Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons and stuff.
Well, they didn't seem like they were trying to push it on us
Yeah.
necessarily. I mean, Zach did want to go get lunch, and they were kind of like in the way. So he kind of was like, "Oh, they're in my way." But they
Yeah.
were really nice. Like they weren't like trying to push it on us or anything.
Yeah.
They were just trying to have conversation, and it was pretty cool.
A lot of the times you get like a pamphlet and it's like, going to hell, find out why. Here's
some clickbaity article you see on the.
here's how to
sites.
prevent it. Accept your
It's like,
sins.
Got bad acne? Here's why. Going to hell? Here's why. Yeah, but we have 2 copies of this book now because Zach offered to take one as well. So I've got 2 copies of it.
Yeah, so a little off topic before we get into something. So I'm pretty sure most people know the age-old meme with Sean Bean, one does not simply,
Yes.
yada yada. So I was watching a Lord of the Rings movie last night, and right after the one does not simply walk into Mordor,
Yeah.
like the very next like clip in the same setting is one of the characters going, "Do you know the way?" And I'm like,
No.
oh man, they could continue this.
They predicted it. You should like record it and then be like, "Do you know?"
I think that would be a good opportunity for a meme.
Probably. We're just gonna sit here with the Book of Mormon on That's fine.
It's this is today's sponsor actually.
The Mormons.
The Book of Mormon.
Get your free copy today when you log in with the promo code the basic.
The basic
I know people who
Book of Mormon.
do podcasts and do that kind of stuff all
Yeah.
the time. So it's like Book of Mormon. I don't know. The way they talked about it seemed pretty cool. Like they were genuinely passionate about it.
Yeah.
And what's funny about they didn't have their first names. They didn't say their first names.
They just said their last name.
They were like sister, whatever their last name.
Yeah.
You know, that's cool. Like if you do missionary work like that, because they said they were, then you know I understand that.
Yeah.
But it's funny because one of them, her left eye was two different colors. Like it sounds really
Oh.
weird. Like it was blue and then it was like hazel and kind of brown
Yeah.
on one side, and I was like, what? Like the entire time
Nice.
she was talking. I don't know if they came up because we just look like sinners, or
You kind of look like sinners.
me and Zach.
Yeah. Big Tom.
Thanks. I see how I am. I mean,
mean-
I'm wearing all black.
You're a teenage boy. You look like a sinner.
Thanks.
I think that's just a given. Have you ever looked at a teenage boy and went, "Oh,
Yes.
not a sinner"?
Oh no. I've always been like, oh, he's probably in a lot of trouble.
Exactly. It just goes with the territory of growing
I
up.
feel like if anybody looks at me, that's what I am. Just
A
sinner.
common hoodlum has appeared.
Report him to the authorities or shoot him yourself.
So how are we gonna get into these questions, Eli?
We'll say, oh, we'll do some questions now.
Okay. We'll do some questions
We'll
now.
do some questions now. So, are we doing Phil's? Because I feel like you kind of wrapped Phil's up. Like,
Well, what was the... Okay, Phil had another one. It was a... Okay, so why are we even doing a podcast in the first place? That's another question that somebody submitted.
I don't even remember why we started.
Well, you had the idea originally to start the podcast. And so I got on board with it because I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a cool thing to do. I don't know why we wouldn't do it.
yeah.
And it's like... So for me, it's like... It's something to do on the side that's kind of fun to do and entertaining, and it might become something eventually.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm doing it. I don't see any harm in it. I think the worst that can happen is we just continue to do it and it doesn't really go anywhere, but at the same time, I feel like everyone ends up developing their own like niche if they continue to do something long enough.
Yeah.
Like even if episode by episode you can't see the change over time, it becomes a lot more streamlined
Yes.
and you really can hone in on what you wanted to do.
Mhm.
So that's pretty much why I'm doing it. What about you?
I think I just want something to do and to work on, because I feel like if I'm not doing anything, it's not,
Yeah.
you know, I don't feel like I'm being productive, or I can't be happy if I'm not
Yeah.
actually doing something. Because if I'm just sitting around, it's not great. It's funny because we were reading a book. We're reading this book for like church stuff, and it's called like, you know, I don't even remember what it's called, but it talked about how it's got some big thing about how you have to, you know, fight the devil by being on your feet all the time, and if
Yeah.
you sit around, you're not going to be ready, and you're going to be under influence of things. And like, I'm not here to preach gospel or anything,
Yeah.
because you know that's not what I do, but it really made me think about how I used to just sit around all the time. And now that I'm actually like doing the podcast, and I have something else I want to do on my YouTube channel now,
Yeah.
and I'm writing a book / story. I have another book I'm writing. I'm writing music for it,
Yeah.
and of course I sit around and play games. So if I just sit around and did nothing, none of those things, and just played games all the time, I would feel basically useless.
Yeah. Well, also like for me personally, I would even though there's the entertainment and informative factors
Yeah.
involved, for me, I would like to like inform people and help people with certain things.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I have a lot of opinions about things, and hopefully we could get a bigger following and actually have people taking advice from us or me.
So like we talk about our mistakes and stuff.
Yeah, or about certain
Yeah,
situations.
I feel like that's a good thing
Uh,
we try to do when we were doing the podcast.
We
at
haven't.
first.
I don't think we've had a lot of time to bunker down and like do the promotional things we need to do
Yeah.
to maybe like increase the following. But ideally, I would like to be more of an informative voice on the pod.
Yeah.
That's probably what I want to do with it.
Kay had a good idea for promotion, but I don't know that I should say it. I'll tell you later.
Okay. So that's why we started the pod.
We want something.
We want your souls.
Sell us your souls.
Your soul for a subscription.
For one subscription? They're giving us two things: their subscription and time, and their souls. What do we?
And do you have a question? There's one more that Phil asked, but if you have one lined up.
I have one.
Okay.
From Brandon Milam. He lives in Nashville. He's one of my friends. He says, "Will the superhero genre ever die out, and how soon?"
Okay, my opinion on that is, I would say no, it'll never die out for sure. I don't think it will. I think it's kind of like at an apex right now
Yeah.
of, you know,
Just like Detective Private Eye movies were at an apex. and
yeah,
then-
yeah. I think it's come from the fruition of marketing and labor over a long period of time. Like, they built it up, like, piece by piece to become this colossal thing.
Mhm.
Like 10, 15 years ago, before Marvel was really pinpointing the Avengers and giving them their own, every high name, its own movie,
Yeah.
and then building it into like a super movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was their whole game plan. It was like,
Mhm.
we'll do things smoothly and we'll go one by one, and then we'll turn it into like this colossal titan of a genre.
I mean, that's what Infinity War is gonna be.
Yeah, it's
This
like
was
this big
colossal
mega
thing.
mashup. But eventually, I do think you'll see them taper off again.
But
But
they'll always kind of be around.
yeah, I think kids and just people in general, they really enjoy that stuff.
Yeah. Because you can always try to relate to a superhero
Yeah.
when you're a kid.
And for one, even as an adult, things that you enjoyed as a kid kind of stay prevalent to you. Like, if you're a kid and you like the Incredible Hulk, that's like your guy. When you're like 30 years old, you'll probably still go see the next Hulk movie.
Yeah.
So a lot of childhood things are like that, and since superhero movies and stuff is kind of integrated into childhood,
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be persistent. But I think after the Grand Infinity War mashup with Marvel happens, you'll start seeing the movie sales and stuff go down a little.
Yeah.
I do believe that.
So after this year, they'll start to taper off, you think?
Well, there's Infinity Wars Part 2.
So after next year?
Yeah, I think you'll see a little bit of a decline. What do you think?
I think so. I know DC's just trying to get started with Justice League. I know they're trying
Yeah.
to do a bunch of stuff, but I don't know how far that's gonna go. That may just drop when Avengers gets done.
DC can't really get off their feet very well with a lot of their movies.
Yeah.
I mean, they've tried hard, I'm sure, but their efforts are just, they always just look subpar.
Yeah.
They're like the generic brand.
I don't really
for
like
sure.
DC, and sue me. I don't care, but
It's not that the characters are worse. It's just they execute them
Yeah.
poorly in comparison.
It doesn't feel like they're trying very hard. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I don't it may sound bad, but I don't really like the Marvel movies that much either.
Oh, really?
Like, I'll go watch every single one that comes out,
Yeah.
but a lot of them just feel kind of fake to me. And maybe it's just how much CG they use now,
Yeah.
but see, I'm really into movies with a lot of visual, like physical props and things.
Well, they've Marvel's had a hit and miss. They're not, but overall, they're a better experience to me than DC.
They're good at storytelling.
What
That's what I like.
the main thing that Marvel does that I don't necessarily like is when they go out of their way to like essentially impair the story just so they can get a character's signature kind of trait or quality into a scene. Like, it's forced. It feels really forced.
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, we're in this big battle, but guess what? Iron Man does this in the middle of it.
We have this other character that you didn't know could do this thing, like
So-
Ant-Man getting really big or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a forced thing that they do to try and get the character types into the same movie, and I'm not a big fan of that. I think they should just try and work it seamlessly in.
Yeah.
But I think the movies are good. I mean, I liked Doctor Strange and Thor Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed those.
And I think that's why it's not gonna die out as soon as we think so, is because people are still gonna like them.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I know everybody I know has like a favorite superhero, and they're gonna hold on to that for who knows how long.
Yeah. So next question.
Did you say Phil had a different one too?
Oh, so Phil said, "Will the basic podcast will we ever split up and like do our own thing, like our own podcast?"
Like our own single podcast?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Would you want to do that?
Well, no, like
I know it's hard to tell now.
yeah. Like for me personally, if if we ever get like separated as far as like
I have to move somewhere.
yeah, like location. Yeah, I could see myself doing something solo or just starting something myself to do. But other than that, we'll probably I'd say we're going to keep doing that.
We'll always be together. You won't separate us.
I mean, and even then still we could find a way to do it even with like streaming based service or like
Yeah.
you know what I
Two
mean?
different screens.
Yeah, 2 different screens. So it could still be done. So I think we're going to keep doing it at least in some regard.
Yeah.
For as far as I can see the foreseeable future. What about you? What do you think?
I agree with you. I don't know that I want to like split off anything. I want to do my own stuff, but I don't know that I want to do the podcast by myself.
Yeah. That's the answer to that.
Bye, Phil.
Pretty basic one, but
That's all Phil stuff. Brandon also asked if we would ever make the podcast available on Spotify. I've looked into that. I have. And like they only want podcasts that are already big enough.
yeah.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if David Dobrik and Jason Nash could get on there, but me and Matt don't have that
So
much yet.
the thing is, pretty much if we can do it, we're probably gonna do it. So it's really an issue of
Can we do it?
yeah, have we gotten that amount of following or
Yeah.
subscriptions or people watching, stuff like that.
I've been looking into Google Play Music and iTunes, and it's gonna be a little bit difficult for me to do that. I mean, I can probably without that many problems. I just need to sit down for like 2 whole days and figure out exactly how to do it
yeah.
because it's got like a few complicated things I've got to go through.
I think the main thing is we're delivering more content people want to see and watch, and maybe cutting down on time and then adding more, actually doing more things.
Yeah.
So essentially, if we get to that level, yeah, we'll do it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt
Yeah.
about that.
If we are gonna be on Spotify, it's gonna be in a while.
yeah.
So, I'm sorry, Brandon. I know that you've got to watch it on YouTube, and you can't watch it with your phone closed because you don't have YouTube Red. I have YouTube Red, and I can watch it. Though it doesn't really help for me to watch it, does it? He asked if Logan Paul will ever be forgiven. We talked about that before.
A little bit. Yeah, he'll be forgiven.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is because in today's age, with how fast things move,
I mean, he released a new video.
yeah. But I'm saying, like, in general, if you notice, people are forgiven a lot easier today than they used to be in the past. Like, you used to could make one character flaw as somebody in a celebrity type, you know,
Yeah.
in a celebrity environment, and then they could derail their whole career or etc. But today you can see a lot of people who can continually make mistakes and then be forgiven and just continue on with their with how they, and honestly to me it's kind of interesting how it plays out, because I do think he's going to be forgiven as a whole in time. I think it'll take a while, and I think a lot of people are upset about it, and I think that's justified that they are. Uh, but at the same time, uh, honestly, I think as far as him being forgiven, him apologizing and stuff, uh, actually doesn't help anymore. It doesn't seem to help. In my
It doesn't help for him to apologize.
no, like as a human and someone who cares about things, and I think it's good to apologize as far as your own morale and ethics go. But if you see time and time again, in today's age, the people who don't apologize almost always get forgiven quicker. Almost always.
I haven't really paid attention to a lot of people who have a lot of conspiracy around them.
Think
So-
about how, okay, so Donald Trump says something wrong, like, or says something that's kind of out there, even if it might be a little wrong to say, and he probably knows that.
Oh, I see now.
He's not going to
Because
apologize.
if he apologizes, he like recognizes that there was actually something wrong.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people today, they go with the I just won't apologize strategy, and it often actually plays out.
Yeah.
Because when you start apologizing, then people go, well, it's clearly,
Clearly, he was in the wrong.
even he admits it.
Yeah.
But all in all, I don't like the Paul brothers very much, so hopefully it derails them some bit to some degree.
I saw
Even still, with what Logan did, he's still by far the better brother, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, if I had to choose between those two, it would be Logan any day.
I saw a poster of Jake Paul in Walmart today.
Oh,
I
God,
was like,
seriously?
I'm not even kidding. I have a video of it. I said, "Wow, my day's going great," and oh, it just got worse.
So, yeah.
Today's been a day, man.
Sees a Jake Paul poster. Man, it's been a rough one.
Like, wakes up, sees a Jake Paul poster. I'm going back to bed. Jaren says, "Are you gay?"
So a question, another question submitted, is are we gay? Are you gay? I don't know if it's exclusive to one of us.
I think he's just asking if
Yeah.
I'm gay.
So, Eli's come under a lot of scrutiny in the past about his sexuality.
I have not.
Well, according to some people,
Who's telling you that I've come under scrutiny?
people from the village, like Zach, Jaron.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, I used to get asked if Eli was gay or bisexual almost all the time.
Wow. Probably because I can either be really introverted and want people to leave me alone, or I'm like, "Hey guys," all the time.
Yeah.
So
So Eli, the question, I mean, are you? That's what
No.
everyone wants to know. No. So he's not.
no.
Well, there you have it. So, and for like me, growing up, I mean, as a kid you get called that a lot, but like as an adult, I never had anyone really question it. At the same, it just kind of surprises me because I'm pretty metrosexual. If you don't, do you know what metrosexual means?
I know what heterosexual is. What's metrosexual? Is this something new?
No, it's not
Did you
anything
make
new.
this up?
This has been around a while, but people don't know the term very well.
Okay.
Okay, metrosexual is a man who's really superficial. Like,
You know, you're married, right?
yeah.
Okay. Go on.
I'm explaining what it is.
Go on.
It's a man who's very superficial, or is into like grooming, maintaining himself, his personal appearance
Oh, that's not me. I don't
To-
care half
to
the
like
time.
to like a high level. That's what a metrosexual man would be. Like, if you're using skincare products and you're a man, you can go ahead and say you're metrosexual.
Mhm.
If you wake up in the morning and you put on eye cream, you're metrosexual. So that's
I'm just a hetero over here. I'm the straight man. I love the ladies.
and I have actually had a decent bit of guys hit on me before.
You've told me about one of them.
Like, Kay talks about it a lot, but it does happen. It doesn't bother me though. I'm like, hey, that's cool.
Must be looking good.
Exactly.
I had another question from Allie,
Okay.
who lives in Washington, Spanaway, Washington.
Allie, one of our few female viewers.
Probably the only one, because Hada says she hasn't even caught up. I said, do you have any questions for the podcast? And she goes, if you guys were dating, who'd be on top and who'd be on bottom? LOL.
So this is the disturbing question, I suppose.
This was the one that I wanted your
So let me just go ahead and say,
raw
thank you for asking, because these are the kind of questions I prefer.
These actually are the kind of questions I prefer, but everybody just hits
'Cause
us with the stupid
For
ones.
one, it gets people. It's more entertaining.
I wanted your genuine reaction
okay,
from it, so
so
that's why I.
so for me, okay, just because of how I know I am as a person, if I was in a gay relationship, I'd have to be top, and that's just because I have to have the dominance of the situation.
As we're sitting on this lounge chair.
So like, it's not that I would. It's just who I am as a person, so I know that's how I would have to be. And it's not like saying that, oh, I wouldn't, we couldn't swap up from time to time. Like, I would allow that, but I'd have to predominantly.
I'm just laughing because it's about you and me, not you and someone else. So I'm like,
So I don't know what Eli's take on the situation is.
I don't know.
He doesn't have words.
I don't have words. I don't. Like, when she sent me the question, I was like, okay. I'll deal with this when the time comes, but apparently I can't deal with it. I don't know.
You don't. So if you were in a gay relationship, you don't know which one you'd rather be.
It depends on who else is in the relationship, but if it's with you, I guess I'd have to be on the bottom. Because you're the dominant one.
Well, no, it would be like preferred though. What I mean by preferred is like, for me it would be yeah. Like if I was in a gay relationship, I wouldn't be like with some like dominant dude. It just wouldn't work out.
I know, but this isn't me looking to be like, oh, in my preferred gay relationship. This is where like no, it's like it's specifically asked about you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, hopefully we've answered this to
Hopefully
your liking.
we answered this.
I feel like I'm a little more comfortable answering certain questions than you.
Yeah. I guess so. Brandon had 2 more, but one of them we talked about on the last vlog pod. Speaking of the vlog pod, we're going to be doing another one, right?
Yeah.
On the 10th episode? Vlog pod. Okay. The one that he asked was the one about the Disney buying out Fox thing.
Okay.
So we already talked about that.
We talked about it a little bit. Did he like specify?
He asked what our opinions were on it.
Okay, yeah, we have talked about that pretty length.
Yeah.
And length.
I told him that. He asked about our opinions on Disney making another Star Wars trilogy.
Like, have they confirmed it?
Yeah.
They have?
He says that it was just recently announced.
Okay. Well, going off that information and assuming it's true, it doesn't surprise me at all. I don't think it's going to be as good as Star Wars is known to be. Couple reasons. Okay, like for one, when they bought it for like I think 4 or 5 billion, I think it was 4 billion from Lucas.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes without saying they're gonna do more than just the 3 movies.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even with the movies getting over $1 billion in revenue, each one they put out, that's still they have operational costs, movie costs, budgets, and a lot of stuff that goes into the deficit of taking away that. So if it has $1 billion revenue, they probably are only going to make 600, 700 million. And you know, with 3 movies and Rogue One, you know, they're coming up on like just netting what they bought for it, or like just, you know what I mean, getting into the black. They're still not there. So definitely, hell yeah, they're gonna milk it to the end of time.
Do you think they're gonna be good?
I don't know, like, I hope they're gonna be good.
Yeah, me too.
At the same time, I see a lot of what Marvel does with their movies. Disney is starting to do with Star Wars. Like, one of the scenes that just irked me to death in the last movie was...
Spoilers.
It's not a huge spoiler, because it's not, like, necessarily a huge indicator of the plot, but...
Talking about Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was when, so essentially, they're in that tight-knit situation with one of the Imperial ships.
Yeah.
And the rebels are going to be destroyed, and they have to go find the code breaker.
Yeah.
So Finn and what's her name, Rose?
Rose.
Finn and Rose, who's a new character, Rose is. They have to go off to find the code breaker to break into the Imperial system, I guess. And like I get that she's from there. Is she, Rose? Or
She said she was from some kind of mining planet or something,
Okay.
and she had dealt with similar situations.
So I get that, but
I think that's what that was.
so keep in mind, this is like critical. This is like, as far as they know, the whole livelihood of the rebellion stages on them successfully completing this task.
Yeah.
Or else they'll be completely destroyed. And for some reason, they butcher it. Like, they go off and they like save these animals, like that are being.
Let's take our time.
Yeah, and
Rescue people we didn't need to rescue for the sake of
so yeah, there's
rebelling against the people here.
There's this one scene where Rose is like, they're unlocking the animals, and it's like a humorous, lighthearted scene, like where there's some like relief.
Yeah.
And like that's what I'm talking about with them doing it like Marvel does. Like that's an instance where that shouldn't be there, I don't think. Because like literally if you don't get back in time, you're done. Like it's game over. But let's just chuckle and have a happy time releasing these
animals and
Yeah.
causing havoc to all these people.
So I was like,
And then in the end they think they're caught anyways. And they're like, "Oh, well at least we got to rough up their town a bit."
yes.
Like,
So for me, that scene was probably my least favorite in the new one, and I think it's a good indicator of. I actually think they're gonna end up doing a lot of that stuff, which worries me. Which worries me.
Yeah, so if there is going to be more trilogies and all this, I hope it's not all.
But I am excited for the Han Solo film coming up. It has Emilia Clarke in it, and for me, anything with Emilia Clarke,
Are they making a
You can't go wrong.
Because I was seeing something about that.
they might. But with Emilia Clarke in it, for me, you can't really go wrong with that. Like, so
My neck is killing
I'm most excited to see that one. Any more questions?
I think that's all the ones I have. Did Zach have one? Because I remember him shouting one to me. I was like, write it down and give it to me, but he never did.
Oh yeah, it was something about eating sand.
Eating sand?
He said you would know what it meant. Why did you eat sand?
Why did I eat sand? Why did I eat sand? I have no idea what he's talking
He's
about.
all about. He's always on these. Let's just say.
The only thing I can think of is we went to Hawaii when I was like 5 for Christmas and New Year's, and my little brother sat there and ate sand the whole time.
You just let him eat sand.
Parents were kind of watching him, but he was just trying to eat the sand.
You guys were just cool with that.
I guess. It's the only thing I can think of. I don't know why he wanted me to say that. He's gonna be like, no, this thing, and I'm gonna be like, oh, that's stupid. Why would I say that? But I don't know. He doesn't watch these anyways. I'm like, have you watched them? He's like, no, I haven't caught up. Then why are you telling me to do something else in the next one?
Well, that's the idea. I think when we actually interact with the people watching, they'll watch them a lot more frequently.
I hope so.
So, that's about it.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, wow. It is about it.
Hopefully we've answered your questions nicely. I actually enjoyed this one a lot. Personally, I think we should do some more questions sometime.
Oh, yeah, because we have that email address that nobody sent any questions.
Yeah, I didn't figure they would send it to the email anyway.
I'm going to check, because the last time I checked was a few days ago.
But, like,
I'm going to double check and make sure we don't have any questions in it.
like what I want to say is, like, let's say you're going through a situation that you're having trouble with, like in your personal life or whatever. The Basic Podcast, we can help you out.
We're here for you, bro.
We're here. Like, you just ask us about what do you think you should do or something like that, and I'm sure I'll have an opinion on it. I mean, that's my thing.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do with that other thing I want to do on my other channel. It was, I talked to you a little bit about it. Basically, I'd be kind of giving advice for people who are starting out
Yeah.
playing video games, because there's a great many people who didn't grow up like I did with
Yeah.
PlayStation 2 and Age of Empires on the computer in the other room, you know?
Like any aspect, like relationship, financial, family, you ask us about it, I'll have something to say.
I mean, I had an online girlfriend that nobody knew about for 3 whole years because I kept it a secret, so I could
Secret keeping?
I could help you out. Yeah, we have no messages in our inbox. Just hit us up at thebasicpodcast1@gmail.com or DM me.
Or either one of us personally, if you can get to us.
If not, I'll just leave like my Instagram handle. You can DM me.
So please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I think it would really help all us if you guys would share this content, if you could. Like, share it on Facebook, Instagram, whatever you got.
that.
Just turn it into a sharing frenzy. Walk up to your friends, force them to share it.
Yeah, video choking them to death. No, I'm just kidding. Video
Like,
you threatening them if they don't
ask
share
to
it.
borrow their phone and then just share it on all their media feeds. Like,
If you share it, I'll eat a Tide Pod.
shares. I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff get more shares than this has.
Like Jim Carrey in interview.
Yeah, Jim Carrey got shared to oblivion.
To oblivion.
So yeah, share the content, please.
It's got a text message.
Is it a question?
Huh?
Is it a question?
No, it's Zach. Well, we'll see you guys later.
Yep, see you guys.
Thanks for watching the Basic Podcast. That's Matt.
That's Eli.
See you next time.
We out ya.
We out ya. Oh, special thanks to the Hennessy bottle that propped up the phone again this time for our camera. Thanks, Hennessy. No, you won't see this. Love you.